Hi, this is Access Chapter 10 training movie, help video. We're beginning at step 17. So we're in the process of creating a report that uses a parameter. And we originally had built that report off of a query which had the parameter between in it. We took that away and replaced it with input from a form. And so we had created a form, a blank form, not attached to any underlying table, that's going to ask the users in a nice little way the start and end date. And then those values are going to get sent to the query, which then is going to send to the report. So that's where we're at in this process. So we're on step 17. So we want to open the report member renewals in design view. So let's go down to reports, member renewals in design view. Okay, so one of the things about this report, since it's going to vary, right, based on the date range that somebody enters, it would be meaningful to include those dates on here so that you get this membership renewal report for a date range. So when you print it, you know exactly what date range. You're not like trying to figure it out by looking at this, I don't know, renewal date. So that's what we're going to work on right now. So we opened this report in design view. Now it says drag the bottom edge of the report header to the 1-inch mark. And the reason that we're doing that is we're going to put that date range information up here in the header, the report header. Okay, so I'm just going to come to the top of the page header. And you see when I get the line with the arrows, I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it. I'm going to keep going, and you can't really see the numbers. So I'm just going to drop it and then see I'm too far. And so I really wanted it this line, but I really couldn't see that. So that's okay. You can just, there we go. All right, so we opened up our space. That's what this is about. So then add a text box control to the report header below the title. All right, change the left property of the box to 1.5 inch. Okay, so let's just put in, let's see, change the label to start date. Okay, change the format. So let's go and put that text box in. Start text box. Below the title. And we're going to change it to 1.5. So let's just kind of eyeball it and put it in here. And then we can work with the property. So we have it entered, right? So we put a text box in there. Right now it's not attached to anything. We're just going to set it up here. Change the left property of the text box. So property sheet, format, left, that's pretty close, 1.5. Change the text. Okay, so we have this part done. Change the text for the label. So this is the label. So I can either double click in here or I can come up here and change the caption. It's the same thing. Start date. So we did that. So we're just kind of setting it up. Change the format of the text box to short date. Okay, so we'll do that. So click on that. Let's go to data. Text format. Oops, that's not what I want. I need to be on format. Format, click here, short date, and then let's go to data control source and let's zoom. So this is one of those ones where let's read it. We're saying from the form member renewal a student, grab the start date. Oh, and I don't want to zoom. So that's a lot, and there's a lot of pieces and parts. So it's much easier to use the expression builder. So we're going to do open up our database. It's a form all forms, and let's find it, form member renewal. Click on it. Over here, it shows what fields are on that form. We want start date. There it is. So we're done with that. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for the end date, and we're going to put it right next to it. So we begin, control, text box, and let's just see. Left is 4 1/4, so let's try and eyeball it as close as we can. Put it in there. Change the left property, so format, I'm on the text box. Format left 4 1/4. Hey, that was good. And then change the text for the label, which is the caption, or we can double click and do end date. And then I really don't like this, so I'm going to click on this, grab the little box at the corner, and just bring it next to it. Okay. So it's next to it. Actually, I'm going to do the same thing over here, so it's next to it. And when you want to move these not in a pair, you have to grab the little box. If you grab anywhere else, they come as a pair. All right, so we did that. We did that. We did that. Change the format of the text box to short date. So we're here on this. Format, format, short date, data, control source. I'm going to use my ellipses. Open up the database. Pick forms, all forms, find the form, pick end date, double click. There it is. Okay. So now we're saying this box is going to get whatever date is driven by this form. Done with that. Align the start and end date controls to the top. Okay, so we're just going to align those. So I'm just selecting all of them, and I always make sure they're the same height. So I'm going to make it to tallest, and then align top. Okay, we're going to save and close this report. So we are done with this step. All right, open form member renewals in design view. So let's open that up. Form, so we got to go to form, member renewal A student in design view. Reduce the detail section of the form to the 2-inch vertical. Get rid of that. No, that's not right. Mine is already smaller. Hold on. Okay, I got confused by the reduce. In my case, I need to make it bigger. So we want this to be 2 inches, whichever way you have to go. Because what we're going to end up doing is putting some buttons here. So we needed to make some room for that. So whether you expand it or contract it, this detail section should be 2 inches. So we did that. And remember, if you're not sure you're there, go to properties, make sure you have the detail line selected, format, height, right? So you can always double check with those properties, just making sure you got the right thing selected. Okay. Insert a button below the end date label. So that would be about right here. In the command button wizard, choose the option for the button to open query member renewals. And then the text should be run renewal query. Okay, so we got to find the button control. right? So we're going to select the button control. We're going to come right here. I don't know how big it needs to be. We can just drop it in there. We can always change it, right? So we want to open query. So let's think about what we want. We got record, record form, report. Okay, nothing. Let's try miscellaneous. Run a query. So run a query, make note of that, is under miscellaneous. So we're going to run a query. Next. Which query? Query member renewals. That's that query that pulls which members will need renewals, like a letter sent out or whatever. Okay. Next. The text is going to be run renewals query. With a space there, Helen. Next. And CMD QRY renewals finish. So we got all that done. Next, insert another button to the right, okay? In the command button wizard, choose the option for the button to open report renewals a student. Okay, so this time it's going to be a report, right? So button, put it in. And they're not the same. Oops, Helen, I picked the wrong thing. Button. And we want a report. So report operations. Open a report. Member renewal a student. Next. Text. Run renewals report. Next. CMD RPT renewals. Cool. Let's save, and close. And I am going to stop this movie at this point, and we'll pick up step 19 on the next one. Thank you.